I'm Judy Woodruff. On the NewsHour tonight, the travel ban at the Supreme Court. Justices agree part of President Trump's controversial executive order can start now. And we'll hear the full case in the fall. Then Senate Republicans scramble to keep their health care bill alive, releasing a revised measure amid wavering support from within the party. And the first part of my conversation with Warren Buffett, we discuss inequality in the U.S. and America's shifting role in the world.
We do not have quite a percentage of the world's GDP that we had 20 or 30 or 40 years ago, but we're still the leader. The question is whether we can be the moral leader as well as the economic leader.
All that and more on tonight's PBS NewsHour.
Major funding for the PBS NewsHour has been provided by BNSF Railway,
the William and Flora Hewlett Foundation, helping people build measurably better lives.
And with the ongoing support of these individuals and institutions. This program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
This final day of the Supreme Court term has revived a controversial item on President Trump's agenda, his travel ban. The justices announced that they will hear arguments this fall on the constitutionality of the ban. In the meantime, they reinstated a limited version of the order affecting travelers from 6 mostly Muslim countries. Mr. Trump lauded the Supreme Court's action today as, quote, a clear victory for our national security, adding it allows the travel of suspension for the 6 terror-prone countries and the refugee suspension to become largely effective. We explore the legal and practical implications now with our regular Supreme Court watcher, Marcia Coyle of the National Law Journal, and Alan Gomez. He covers immigration for USA Today. Welcome to you both. Marcia, let's start with you. Let's take this one at a time. Okay. There were 2 things that the court was asked to look at by the Trump administration. First, to grant review on hearing the arguments on the executive order.
Right, Judy. The legal challenges to the executive order focused on basically 2 provisions, the 90-day travel ban from 6 predominantly Muslim countries and the 120-day suspension of the U.S. Refugee Assistance Program. The government asked the Supreme Court to review 2 federal appellate court rulings that struck down the executive order 1, and they ruled separately, claiming that the order violated the Establishment Clause of the Constitution because it was religious discrimination, and a second ground was that the executive order exceeded the president's authority under federal immigration law, a provision in particular that prohibits discrimination on the basis of nationality. The Supreme Court said it would hear arguments on the merits of those 2 appellate court rulings in October.
And meantime, and separately, the justices were also asked by the Trump administration to lift the injunctions that had been imposed on the travel ban. What did they say about that?
Okay, those 2 federal appellate courts had approved injunctions blocking the travel ban and the suspension of the refugee program. The Supreme Court said that the bans would be lifted only, would be applied only against foreign nationals who had no bona fide relationship with an individual or an entity in the United States. And the court went on to explain that in terms of a bona fide relationship, it should be a familial relationship with an individual or when it comes to an entity, a formal documented relationship. For example, a student has been accepted at a university in the United States.
So they were imposing there had to be some connection already with the United States for these individuals. 3 justices disagreed with this partial lifting. What did they say?
Justice Thomas wrote for the dissenters and was joined by Justices Alito and Gorsuch. Justice Thomas explained he was most in disagreement about the partial lifting of the injunctions against the executive order. He said it was unworkable, that it was going to create a floodgate of litigation as government officials tried to determine what is a bona fide relationship with an individual or an entity. Those 3 justices would have would have allowed the ban in the executive order to go into full effect.
So, Alan Gomez, let me turn to you. You report, as we said, on immigration, travel issues. What is the immediate effect of this ruling today?
The immediate effect is that this travel ban, or what's left of it, can go into effect as early as Thursday. But it's important to note that once it does go into effect, this is going to look very different from what we saw back in January when President Trump first signed his first travel ban on January 27th. If you remember at the time, everybody from these countries was blocked from entering the country, so people were stranded at U.S. airports, were blocked from getting onto their U.S.-bound flights overseas. But things have changed dramatically since then. His revised travel ban allows for green card holders to travel, allows for people who hold visas to travel, and now what the Supreme Court has ordered, establishing this bona fide relationship that Marcia was explaining a second ago, that's where we're going to start trying to figure out, that's where the government is going to start trying to figure out who can come in and who cannot. And so that's a lot of gray area, and we do expect to see some litigation about this because it's one thing if you have a relative in the U.S. who's trying to claim you, that person can come in. If you have a job offer from a U.S. employer, that person can come in. But what if you're just a business person coming over here to have a couple of meetings on a short-term visa? Is that a bona fide relationship? If you're a tourist who already has hotel reservations and flight reservations, is that a bona fide relationship? So that's what we're going to start seeing in those first couple of days when the ban finally goes into effect.
And that's my question. Just how clear are these guidelines that the justices set down? I mean, do we assume immigration officials are scrambling today to put this in black and white to figure it out?
There are a lot of attorneys within the Department of Justice and Homeland Security and the State Department and a lot of immigration advocacy attorneys who are just diving into whatever case law, whatever precedents they can find to figure out what exactly this bona fide relationship is. The justices provided a few examples that we've cited already. If you have a job offer, if you've been admitted to a U.S. university, and if you have a direct relative. But beyond that, it's pretty much wide open now. So we're trying to figure out what that means. To give some context here, in 2016, about 108,000 people came to the United States legally from these 6 countries. From a quick accounting of that, the majority of them will still be allowed to enter the country under this, under the guidelines set forth by the Supreme Court, because most of those were refugees, had those direct ties that we're talking about. But once we get into some of these other visa categories, that the relationship is a little bit more tenuous. That's what has to play out in the next few weeks to see what the government determines to be a bona fide relationship and whether the courts agree with them.
Very quick final question, Alan. The travel ban that was issued by the president last March was intended to be temporary while the government figured out vetting procedures. They said it was going to take 90 days. Where does that stand?
Well, that review finally started last week. In a separate ruling, the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in San Francisco sort of separated that vetting review from this legal case that we're going through right now and said that the administration can start conducting that review. In short, what they're trying to do is gauge what kind of information we get from foreign governments to screen people coming into the country. So they just started doing that last Monday. And so, the clock starts now. They're going to review it for 20 days. Submit a list to the president, then those governments will have 50 days to get off the list, and at the conclusion of that vetting review, then the president can decide whether he wants to impose more or fewer travel restrictions against different countries around the world.
All right, Alan Gomez, USA Today, Marcia Coyle, thank you both.
My pleasure, Judy.
Thank you.
And in the day's other news, the Supreme Court also announced that it will decide a case pitting gay rights against religion. At issue is whether a Denver baker acted legally when he refused to sell a same-sex couple a wedding cake. He cited his religious beliefs. In another case, the justices ruled 7-2 that a church-run school in Missouri may seek taxpayer-funded grants for a new playground. President Trump has again accused former President Obama of failing to stop Russian interference in the 2016 election. On Twitter today, he charged the reason that President Obama did nothing is that he expected Hillary Clinton would win. He didn't choke, he colluded or obstructed. Mr. Trump insisted investigators have no evidence that his campaign aides colluded with Russia. British Prime Minister Theresa May struck a deal with a Northern Ireland party today to bolster her minority government. May's Conservatives lost their majority in this month's election. Now they've agreed to provide some $1.3 billion in extra funding to Northern Ireland. That is in return for the Democratic Unionist Party's 10 votes in Parliament. British officials now say that 75 high-rise buildings tested for fire safety have failed. The testing began after London's Grenfell Tower fire. The siding on that building may have fueled the blaze. The other buildings tested so far are all over the country. It is not clear how long it will take to fix the problem. In China, Nobel Prize laureate Liu Xiaobo has been released from prison to a hospital after being diagnosed with late-stage liver cancer. Liu has been a leading dissident for decades. In 2009, he was sentenced to 11 years on a charge of inciting subversion. But his lawyer says that today's release means little.
In principle, he will not be allowed to see guests or visitors because of the special nature of his case. Under medical parole, a person is still serving a term while being treated in a medical facility, even if it's outside of prison. Liu Xiaobo's case is special. I don't think the authorities will allow him to have visitors.
Liu won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2010 for his efforts demanding greater political freedoms and an end to one-party rule in China. Back in this country, the family of Philando Castile has reached a $3 million settlement over his fatal shooting by a Minnesota police officer. Castile, a black man, was killed during a traffic stop last year. The officer was acquitted this month of manslaughter before being fired by the city of St. Anthony. Takata Corporation has filed for bankruptcy protection over faulty airbag inflators linked to at least 16 deaths worldwide. The company faces tens of billions of dollars in costs and liabilities stemming from recalls and lawsuits. The filings today in the U.S. and Japan clear the way for a rival company to take over most of Takata's assets. On Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 14 points to close at 21,409. The Nasdaq fell 18, and the S&P 500 added a fraction. Still to come on the NewsHour, a crucial checkup for Republican senators' health care bill, showing the Syrian refugee crisis in a new light through comic drawings, and much more. It was a big day in the fight over health care reform in the United States and the Senate's push to replace Obamacare. John Yang digs into the details.
Late today, the Congressional Budget Office issued its analysis of the Senate health care bill. It found that by 2026, 22 million more Americans would be uninsured than under current law. It would also reduce the federal deficit by $321 billion over that period. Now, that estimate of uninsured Americans is slightly lower than the CBO projection for the House version, which passed in May. But a rising tide of opposition is adding to the difficult dynamics of trying to pass the Senate bill this week. Joining me now to break all this down, Julie Rovner. She's the chief Washington correspondent for Kaiser Healthcare News, and our own Lisa Desjardins. Lisa, Julie, thanks for joining us. Julie, let me start with you. Drill down a little bit for us in that number of uninsured, and also what did it say about the effect on premiums?
Well, basically what the CBO said is that even though the Senate bill is different in many, many ways from the House bill, they end up in roughly the same place in terms of number of people who would be uninsured. Basically, both of the bills would double the percentage of people without insurance compared to the Affordable Care Act. One of the sort of remarkable things that it found is that it would do it for different reasons and in different ways. For example, the Senate bill would peg that its help with people paying premiums to a less valuable plan, a plan that would pay fewer of people's medical expenses. And what they found was that for a lot of low-income people, even if they get help paying the premium, they wouldn't buy insurance because they wouldn't have any help using their insurance. The deductibles and that other cost sharing would just be too high.
Lisa, you were just on a conference call with the CBO. What did you learn?
I think that's the standout point here. We know who these uninsured people would be. The 22 million that you just spoke about, John, those are mostly low-income Americans and some on the edge of middle class. We're talking about $30,000 in income for an individual. So that's not poverty. That's twice the level of poverty. The CBO found here that some of those groups, people making under $30,000 a year, would go from about 10 to 15% uninsured, maybe 20%, to maybe 40% of the people making $30,000 or less would be uninsured under this plan. So that's a big hit to that one group.
And Lisa, of course, you're usually up on Capitol Hill for us. What does this report do to the calculus of trying to get 50 votes by the end of this week to pass this bill in the Senate?
Today started and it was already very tough math. In fact, many of my sources all day were saying they weren't sure how Senate Leader McConnell could do it. This makes it even more difficult. We've had reaction in just the last hour. Rand Paul has now said that he is going to vote not just against the bill, but to even the idea of bringing it up. That's a procedural vote that we expect maybe Wednesday, called motion to proceed. If they can't get 51 votes for even starting this debate on that bill, it's a very bad sign. We're seeing makes me concerned comments from Senator Cassidy of Louisiana. John McCain said this is obviously not good news. Across the board, this is definitely not helping Republicans. It's not clear how this gets across the finish line.
And of course, the 51st vote would likely be the vice president who would break a tie. Julie, it wasn't just the CBO report that came out today, but there was other bad news for this Senate bill today.
Well, there was also a plethora of interest groups. Most of the healthcare industry has actually come out and said they really don't like the way the direction this bill is going. Some of them vehemently oppose it, some including like the National Governors Association. This is the bipartisan group which barely agrees on anything, at least came out and said, we don't think it should be done this fast. The National Association of Medicaid Directors, the people who would be involved in actually implementing the change to this bill, came out with a very, very strong statement saying that no amount of flexibility can make up for the dollar amount of cuts to the Medicaid program in this bill. According to the CBO, it's 26% over 10 years.
And Julie, the Senate made a change to this bill today. What did they do and why did they do it?
That's right. The original Senate draft that we saw last week required insurers to continue to sell to people who have pre-existing health conditions, but there was nothing in it to encourage or urge healthy people to actually buy insurance. So they put in today, or at least in what the CBO scored, what they call a 6-month lockout. So if you had any kind of a break in coverage of more than 60 days in the previous 12 months, you would have to wait 6 months before you could get coverage under this new bill.
So Lisa, you say we need 50 votes in the Senate. They've got 5 already saying they're against it. You've got a lot on the fence. Who should we be watching? Who will tell us in the next 48 hours whether or not this is going to pass?
Right now, almost every Republican senator is key, but the one I'm watching the most closely is Senator Shelley Capito of West Virginia. Think about her state. Mr. Trump, President Trump, won that state by 42 points. If he cannot get a bill across the finish line in a state with that much support, there's a real problem. She has serious health problems in that state, among them the opioid epidemic. She wants more money in this bill for that. We'll see if she gets it, but that might not be enough. She has a huge Medicaid population. She's not the only one, John. I really ran a lot of the statistics here. Think about this. Almost half of the Republicans in the Senate have states where 20% of their whole population is on Medicaid. That's something they're taking very seriously with this bill.
Julie, are we likely to see more changes in this bill as they try to get to that 50-vote mark?
Oh, absolutely. One thing that the CBO, I guess one piece of good news for the Republicans in the Senate is that the Senate bill would save considerably more money than the House bill. So in theory, they have money to play with. We would expect more money to be devoted towards the helping the opioid epidemic. You know, they could make more changes. The problem, the difficulty is that any change that moves towards the more moderate members will harden the opposition of the more conservatives, and any change that makes the conservatives happy will harden the opposition of the moderates. So actually, they only have 2 votes to spare. Finding 50 votes, not an easy thing.
It'll be a drama all week as we get toward Friday and the self-imposed deadline. Julie Rovner, Lisa Desjardins, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you, John. And as we've heard, a number of patient groups and major players in the healthcare industry have opposed the Senate bill. Every major hospital group has criticized it. They say they are especially worried about deep reductions in Medicaid spending for the poor and those with disabilities, changes that include new limits like spending caps or block grants that would eventually cut the number of people on Medicaid. Hospitals say they will end up paying the difference by treating the uninsured. While I was in Colorado last week for the Aspen Spotlight Health Festival, I spoke with Kenneth Davis. He's president and CEO of the Mount Sinai Health System, which includes 7 hospitals and more than 140 ambulatory centers and practices in New York. Dr. Ken Davis, thank you very much for talking with us. You were quoted recently as commenting on the House version of the Republican overhaul of the Affordable Care Act. You said it would have a fairly devastating effect on the country. Is that the way you feel about the Senate version too?
Absolutely. I think if anything, there are aspects of the Senate bill that can be even more problematic. You know, particularly the glide path to per capita or block grants is going to produce a lower reimbursement for the states than was even in the House bill.
What about the effect on hospitals?
Well, there are a number of things that impact hospitals. All of them collectively, particularly for hospitals that have a reasonable number of Medicaid patients, are pretty difficult. They're substantial cuts. For instance, the public hospitals, the Health and Hospital Corporation in New York City, they can't possibly sustain these cuts to the Medicaid budget. Other hospitals that have a large number of Medicaid patients have a very tiny margin. That margin evaporates with this bill.
And is that even with tweaking? You're saying there's literally no way around?
Well, fundamentally, this bill is about decreasing Medicaid and decreasing what states receive for Medicaid and decreasing, in the House case, those who have the extended benefit or the eligibility that they previously didn't have. The bill isn't that much around tweaks to Obamacare. It's a little bit to tweak the exchanges, but the money's coming from Medicaid. And unless they take a completely different approach to Medicaid, I don't see the tweaks are going to help.
So there are observers of the healthcare system who look at all this and they say hospitals are a big part of the problem. They're consolidating, there are mergers. Doctors are cutting deals with hospitals. Everybody's making more money. Hospitals are charging more. What could hospitals do that they aren't doing now to get some of these costs down?
Well, let's remember, all hospitals are not alike. In many cases, geography is destiny in hospitals. So if you're in a system like ours, in which the vast majority of our payments are either Medicaid or Medicare, that's fixed. And the size of our hospital system isn't going to change how much Medicaid reimbursement or Medicare reimbursement we get. Additionally, as some systems have increased in size, they've done so in order that they can move away from fee-for-service medicine to what's called value. To do that, to be a system that can take risk and value, you have to be large enough so that patients don't escape your network. And that's part of the thing that's driving consolidation.
Is enough being done, you think, to be mindful of costs?
Well, the margins in many hospitals are so small that if you are not fixated on costs, you go bankrupt. And in New York State, we've seen 30+ hospitals go bankrupt in recent years.
So the lesson is?
Lesson is we are focused on expenses. We have to be fixated on expenses. But what we really need to do, and we were trying to do this previously, and hopefully we can continue to do this, is ask how can we deliver health care in a different, more efficient, cost-efficient way? I mean, the system is failing us. The macroeconomics of health care are such that the government can't afford it, the states can't afford it, the employers can't afford it, and the employees can't afford it. So what we've got to ask is what's wrong with the system, and how do we change it so that it's more efficient for everybody?
You brought up Medicaid, and you were saying how much of this legislation is around Medicaid. There are many who say that the Medicaid expansion that was part of the Affordable Care Act originally, which I know you were strongly for, the critics say this was simply throwing money at an inefficient program, poor quality care. People on Medicaid don't get the same level of care that others do. And they point to studies showing that even with the expansion of Medicaid, that care is not getting much better. How do you respond?
Well, those studies, or study, doesn't take a very long perspective. You can't see the difference in things like mortality for quite some time. If you're lowering people's hemoglobin A1C or better controlling their blood pressure, it can take sometimes years before you see an extension of a lifespan in those patients. But what we did find, what was reported, was an improvement in mental health. And it seems like people have forgotten that. You know, the largest provider of payment for addiction services is Medicaid. 20% of all Medicaid recipients, at the very least, have mental health problems. To take that out of the equation is very, very destructive. And to think that we're not having a positive influence, because the only thing we've really directly affected and we can measure short term is improvement in mental health, is a little demeaning to us psychiatrists.
Let me go back to the mega question about our healthcare system. What conservatives are arguing, among other things, is that when you have healthcare, rising costs of healthcare driving at least a sixth of the economy, that something's really out of whack, that the whole system is too expensive, too out of control. Government participating in it is helping to drive up those costs. Do they have a point?
Not really. We lose money on every Medicaid patient who walks through our door, whether it's inpatient or outpatient. That's the cost of health care. If they were truly interested in the question of why is our system so expensive, this would be a bill about how we move away from fee-for-service medicine, in which physicians and hospitals get paid for everything they do, and moving more toward value and risk, in which patients, providers are all aligned such that everyone wants you to stay well and out of the hospital. We'd have more incentives for readmission penalties. We'd have more incentives for shorter stay. We'd have more incentives to bring care to a less expensive place like the ambulatory setting. But those issues aren't being addressed in this bill.
And your point is conservatives may make that argument, but they're not promoting
well, if they are truly interested in changing the cost structure, making it more efficient and less expensive, they've got to deal with reforms that actually affect those metrics. And these don't.
Dr. Ken Davis, we thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stay with us. Coming up on the NewsHour, the first part of my interview with Warren Buffett on the nation's shifting economy. And it's Politics Monday. Tamara Keith and Stu Rothenberg look ahead to a busy week on the Hill. But first, a unique look at the victims of war in Syria. In 2015, Canada began that country's largest refugee resettlement program since the Vietnam War. Over the last year and a half, 45,000 Syrian refugees have made Canada their home, more than double those admitted in the U.S. Now, a group of comic book artists are documenting refugee stories through their art. Special correspondent Stefan Labe and producer Lauren Calger have the story.
In 2011, Mohammed al-Saleh joined the wave of anti-government protesters sweeping across Syria.
It was the first time in my life where I hear my voice saying the word freedom in public. It was the first time in Syrian history where a picture of our dictator is being torn in public. And I was taking that shot. That was one of the most amazing days of my life.
That footage would prove his undoing as the government began to crack down on protesters.
Now they are attacking us.
Now a refugee in Canada, Mohammed finally has a chance to tell his story with the help of a non-profit graphic arts collective.
Cloudscape finds people who have come to Canada as refugees and matches them with comic book artists.
Jonathan Daldon is an established comic artist. He usually draws stories about fantasy and historical fiction. But this time, Mohammed's life is on the page. A story that begins with revolution.
I was studying medicine at Homs University during the Arab Spring. The first time I was arrested was for filming pro-democracy protests. So protesters would have a flag with 3 stars.
3 stars, okay, I wasn't paying close enough attention.
With funding from the government, the comic book artists will work closely with refugees to create a massive one-page comic.
This is your story, so I want you to have as much control over how it's told as possible.
When they're finished, the refugee stories will be displayed in bus shelters all over Vancouver, Canada.
By drawing people as cartoons, I think you can engage the reader to see themselves in the story.
But it's about more than putting yourself in a refugee's shoes. For Mohammed, comics have the power to animate a humanitarian crisis many have grown numb to.
When you try your best to share a story about the worst crisis after World War II, sometimes you feel that language is not actually capable of doing that.
I think that's what I drew. And in this I can find lots of images.
After shooting the protest footage, Mohammed had no idea his future would take a dark turn.
I tried my best to stay out of trouble, but...
Assad's security forces stormed Mohammed's classroom as he was writing an exam. He was charged with terrorism for documenting the uprising.
Those pictures that I was able to upload were all over the news, all over the world.
Mohammed was blindfolded and shuttled off to one of the regime's many detention centers. Over the next 150 days, the guards would deprive him of food and sleep, chain him from the ceiling, and beat him inside of a tire. And when he wasn't being tortured, he was crammed into small rooms with dozens of other prisoners.
I survived death. They managed to change me. They managed to terrorize me.
Mohammed was released from prison when his brother bribed a judge.
When I got my freedom back, all I wanted to do was see my family. I also wanted to say goodbye. I needed to get as far away as I could.
He jumped into a taxi and fled to Lebanon.
You know, when you're on survival mode, like where you're not who, it was because of that I decided to leave Syria. It was because of that I decided that I'm not going to risk being detained and tortured again.
He would soon be chosen as one of the first 200 Syrian refugees to be granted asylum in Canada.
When I arrived in Vancouver, I had only the clothes on my back.
3 years on, he's built a life for himself here. Now, Mohammed helps other refugees newly arrived in the city. People like Osama, who just arrived from Syria with his wife and 4 kids. Today, Mohammed is helping them start over. He signs them up for health insurance.
Application for medical service plan.
Helps them open a bank account and teaches them how to withdraw money from an ATM.
Withdraw.
But with the cartoon project, he wants to reach beyond the refugee community.
I think it's very important to, share my story, or other immigrants to share their stories as well, in order to demonstrate we have this beautiful place because we welcome others, because we are the positive example in a very bad world.
With his family scattered across Turkey and Germany, and anti-immigrant movements on the rise, Mohammed is focused on one thing: reuniting his family here in Canada. For PBS NewsHour, I'm Stéphane Labbé in Vancouver.
Next, to part 1 of my interview with Warren Buffett. He is one of the shrewdest and most successful investors in the world, earning the nickname the Oracle of Omaha. I traveled to Nebraska last week for this wide-ranging conversation. And a note, Buffett is CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, which owns BNSF Railway, one of the funders of the NewsHour. He's number 2 on Forbes' list of the world's wealthiest people, worth more than $75 billion. Warren Buffett is an investing rock star to his Berkshire Hathaway shareholders who gather in Omaha every year. One share is trading today at $251,000. 2 years ago, the legendary firm celebrated its record of investment over a half-century, a portfolio that includes Kraft Heinz, Geico, Wells Fargo, Coca-Cola, and among others, the Nebraska Furniture Mart. It's the largest furniture store in North America. Buffett bought it in 1983 from Rose Blumkin, a Russian immigrant who built it from nothing.
Well, there's nothing like it. And we're the 58th market in the United States, and this was the largest home furnishing store in the country until we built 2 more. And
why was she so successful? What was the secret? What was
Well, she would say, she had a thing in her office, which you probably couldn't read, but it says, she had 2 things, sell cheap and tell the truth.
We talked on the showroom floor, surrounded by sofas, lamps, and coffee tables. The state of the economy was our first topic. The stock market's booming, unemployment rate is as low as it's been in 15, 16 years, but we're still not seeing the growth that people would like to see. What's going on?
The economy is doing well, but all Americans aren't doing well. But we've got $57,000 or $58,000 of GDP per person in the United States. That is a lot of stuff.
And yet the growth, the rate of growth is what, 2%?
2%.
President Trump is saying we're going to get it up a lot higher than that. Is that doable?
Well, it may be, occasionally it happens, but no, I don't think, probably on average we'll have that kind of growth. But 2% does wonders for you, Judy. I mean, if you take 2%, we have a 0.5% population growth and we have a little immigration, but 2% in one generation will add $19,000 of GDP per person. Family of 4, $76,000 in one generation. So your children and children's children and all of that, they'll live far, far, far better than we live with 2% growth.
Well, let me then ask you a little bit about the employment picture, because it is, as you said, low unemployment. A lot of people have jobs. At the same time, we're told the labor participation rate is lower than what the experts like it to be. More people are leaving jobs than are joining. Are we seeing some kind of shift?
Well, we always see shifts in employment. I mean, if you think about it, if you go back to 1800, it took 80% of the labor force to produce enough food for the country. Now it takes less than 3%. Well, the truth is that market systems move people around.
You also see, though, some experts saying that there aren't enough workers out there who have the skills to do all the jobs that are needed.
Well, there's always a mismatch. I mean, you know, as the economy's evolved, it reallocates resources. Now, the real problem, in my view, is, I mean, the prosperity has been unbelievable for the extremely rich people. If you go to 1982, when Forbes put out their first 400 list, those people had $93 billion. They now have $2.4 trillion, 25 for 1. I mean, this has been a prosperity that's been disproportionately rewarding to the people on top.
Are we stuck forever with some measure of inequality?
No, we generally have translated greater output into few hours a week of work per week over the last century, and that's a good trend in the future. But we do have to have a system that, as output of goods and services keeps increasing per capita, that it takes care of the people who are willing to work and really are not getting by very well with a family on a 40-hour week.
You come across as optimistic about the future of this country.
Incredibly.
I think you wrote to your shareholders last year, it's been a mistake to bet against the United States for the last 240 years. Has the U.S. standing, though, in the world has it been changed? Has it been harmed in any way, given what's been going on for the last 6 or 8 months?
We do not have quite the percentage of the world's GDP that we had 20 or 30 or 40 years ago, but we're still the leader. The question is whether we can be the moral leader as well as the economic leader.
And what do you think?
Well, I think that is a podium that we should have. We will be the economic leader, and we should be the moral leader. we should stand for more than the fact that we're the wealthiest country.
And do you think we are right now?
Well, sometimes we are and sometimes we aren't. I did not think what happened on the Paris Agreement was a good idea. I mean, we have to live with the rest of the world, and it's a mistake in my view. Trade has generally developed in this country. We actually export 12 or 13% of our GDP. It was only 5% in 1970. But it benefits us, it benefits the rest of the world. Now, it doesn't benefit the steel worker maybe in Ohio, and that's the problem that has to be addressed, because when you have something that's good for society but terribly harmful for given individuals, you've got to make sure those individuals are taken care of.
Let me ask you about a couple of questions about markets, investing. I mean, nobody knows markets better than you do. I think you said earlier this year that you weren't worried that the market was in a bubble because interest rates were staying low. As you know, the Federal Reserve is starting to raise them. Do you still feel the market is not in a bubble?
Well, anything can happen in markets. I mean, I bought my first stock in 1942. In the spring of 42, I was 11 years old. And so 75 years have gone by, and I've never known what the market's going to do the next day. And that's not my game. My game is to decide whether I'm in the right economy, which America has definitely been ever since that time. The Dow has gone from 100 to 21,000 during that time. And no matter what the headlines say, you know, terrible things are happening. We were losing the war in the Pacific when I first bought stocks. So America's going to do fine over time. American business is going to do fine over time. Occasionally, we go off the tracks with bubbles like and a lot of human error and that sort of thing. But it'll never permanently derail us. And I don't try and guess when to get in and out of the market. I've owned stocks consistently since 1942. I was buying stocks the day before the election. I was buying the same stocks the day after election. And if Hillary had been elected, it would have been the same thing.
Does President Trump deserve credit for what's going on right now in the market?
The stock market has been going up basically since March of 2009. That's when it hit the bottom, very early in March. It's been going up more or less ever since then. And if I ever get elected president, I will never claim credit for anything the market does, because I don't want to be blamed when it goes the other direction.
Your investment decisions over time have been remarkably right, much of the time, most of the time. Today, as people look at you and look at the decisions that you've made, what mainly should people take away
They should be willing to bet on America. They should not listen to a lot of jabbering about what the market's going to do tomorrow or next week or next month, because nobody knows. They should just keep buying and buying and buying a little bit of America as they go along, and 30 or 40 years from now, they'll have a lot of money.
Berkshire Hathaway has made a huge investment in Wells Fargo.
True.
And it came up at your recent shareholders meeting that Wells Fargo had problems. They engaged in some...
plenty of problems.
Plenty of problems. They engaged in some fake accounts, some millions of fake accounts. Leadership of the company was replaced. The critics are saying, yes, you called them out, but Berkshire Hathaway still owns a big chunk of Wells Fargo, and they're saying, is there a double standard?
It was a terrible mistake. I mean, they incentivized bad behavior. Incentives work, but they work either drive you incentivize good behavior or bad behavior. And then the problem, big problem is, and sometimes you can design an incentive system that is incentivizing the wrong things. You've got to end it fast and decisively. That's where they made the big mistake.
Is there a clear line in your mind when behavior becomes just so unacceptable that you don't want to have anything to do with that company?
Well, it's a very interesting question. I would not want to manufacture cigarettes, but if I owned, we do own Costco. You know, do they sell them? Yeah. So I don't have a problem owning stock in that, but I just wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to do it myself. I basically think if anything is sufficiently antisocial, society should do something about it. But that's a separate question. But I don't think there's any company I've seen that's 100% pure. In terms of what I'll call them out for, I'll call individuals out. But generally, I would not apply that to the corporation.
Something that affects all businesses is the cost of health care in this country, and you've been vocal about that. You've argued that right now, I mean, in effect, that the cost of paying for health care can affect a company even more than taxes.
Well, it does. I mean, in terms of our competitiveness in the world, health care in 1960 was 5% of GDP, and there's only 100 cents in the dollar. So it's gone from 5% to 17%. And it keeps going up. Corporate taxes have gone down from 4% to 2%. So corporate taxes are way less of a factor in American competitiveness than I'm talking about overall business, than medical costs.
And as we sit here today in Omaha, the Republicans in Congress are madly trying to figure out what to do to replace Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. Do you have a firm idea in your mind of what ought to be done about Obamacare? Everybody acknowledges there have been some problems with it.
I think that's way outside of my circle of competence. But I would say this: you can't have that 5 go to 17 and move on to 20 and 22 or 24%, because there are only 100 cents in the dollar, and healthcare is gobbling up well over $3 trillion a year. It's just about the same as the federal budget. I mean, it's getting up there.
Are we now at the point where the country does need to think about some sort of single-payer system in some form or another?
With my limited knowledge, I think that probably is the best system, because it is a system. We are such a rich country. In a sense, we can afford to do it. But in almost every field of American business, it pays to bring down costs. There's an awful lot of people involved in the medical, just the way the ecosystem works, that there's no incentive to bring down costs.
And it sounds like you're saying with a single-payer system, it'd be easier to figure out a way to get those costs down.
It'd be more effective, I think.
And tune in tomorrow night for the second part of my conversation with Warren Buffett. We'll look then at more at his own taxes and his views on tax reform and philanthropy. Online, you can view Buffett's very first tax return, filed when he was just 14 years old, for money he earned delivering newspapers in his then Northwest Washington, D.C. neighborhood. That's at pbs.org/newshour. We turn back now to the Supreme Court's decision to take up the Trump administration's travel ban and the ongoing fight over the health care replacement bill. For all that, it's time for Politics Monday with Tamara Keith of NPR and Stu Rothenberg, senior editor at Inside Elections. And welcome to both of you. So, Tam, I'm going to start with you on the Supreme Court ruling on the travel ban. It is a limited victory for the president. They did allow a reinstatement of a part of it. How much of a victory is it?
Well, it's a victory, and the president hasn't had a lot of victories on this travel ban. It's been blocked in various courts all the way up to the Supreme Court. He was 0-2 in the appeals courts before getting to the Supreme Court. Now, at least he will be heard in the Supreme Court. Now, it is not the 9-0 victory that the president declared. There is not a decision yet. There is only a decision to hear the case.
So how do you see it, Stu?
Yeah, similarly, I guess everything is a win or a loss, so it's a win for the president. I don't see it having dramatic political implications, frankly. I think the lines have been drawn. You're either for the ban or against the ban. To some extent, the final decision's been kicked down the road. The can's been kicked down the road a bit. So I think it's a win for the president. But compared to health care, foreign policy, the jobs, the economy, I just don't see it as a decisive issue.
All right. So speaking of health care, we know the debate in the Senate goes on. We heard Lisa Desjardins, Julie Rovner talking with John Yang earlier about where the state of play is. Today, Tam, the Congressional Budget Office weighed in and saying almost as many, 22 million more Americans would be hurt by this plan, would lose coverage, which is almost as many as the House plan. Now, you've just heard there's some reaction to that from the White House.
Right. The White House is reacting much the way that it reacted the last time the Congressional Budget Office came out with one of these blockbuster reports saying millions of people would lose coverage. And what they're saying is that the CBO hasn't always been accurate in estimating health care. So, all right, everyone, just look in the other direction. Please ignore that. And the other point that the statement makes is that the president said he would repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, and this bill does it. and therefore that's what they want. Now, there are some in the Senate who actually say this bill doesn't repeal Obamacare. It's more of a modification of the pre-existing structure, and that is one of the objections. There are many out there.
Stu, what is the political state of play? What are the pressures on these Republicans as they try to decide what to do about this?
Well, I think they're in a very difficult position, a rock and a hard place. On one hand, they want to accomplish something. They have a mandate from conservatives, Republicans, Trump backers to do something. On the other hand, they're concerned about opinion back home, and they're concerned about coverage. I got a release from you got a release from the White House. I saw a release from Mitch McConnell right before I came on. And
I'm glad we are all well covered here.
The Senate will soon take action on a bill that the Congressional Budget Office just confirmed will reduce the growth of premiums under Obamacare, reduce taxes on the middle class, and reduce the deficit. Premiums, taxes, deficit. What McConnell didn't talk about was health care. Quality of coverage.
Or out-of-pocket expenses, which the CBO report says could be massive.
And voters care about these things. They care a lot about these things.
So, Stu, again, I mean, as you follow the political pressures on these members of the Senate as they think about the ones who are up for re-election.
Judy, I was looking at some numbers, and it's really stunning. What's the two groups that are supposed to benefit most from this health care bill? Younger voters and healthier people, right? Because they've been subsidizing older people and people who aren't as healthy. And what group is most opposed to the American Health Care Act and most critical of Donald Trump? 18 to 34-year-olds, younger voters, the kind of voters that should like this. So I think it's a real problem for Republicans.
And we'll certainly see what happens. So there's so much to ask you about, Tam. The president has been tweeting a lot over the weekend, continuing to today, about the reports that the Obama administration had information about Russian hacking interference in last year's presidential election and didn't do a lot about it until after the election. The president's going after former President Obama, saying he's the one who's to blame. He's the one who obstructed. Where does this get I mean, how successful a strategy is this?
The president's position on Russian hacking and meddling in the election is wildly confusing because previously he had said it was a hoax that was invented by the Democrats just to explain their loss in the election. Now, I guess he's okay with the hoax as long as it's former President Obama's fault. And President Trump does have a remarkable ability to make everything President Obama's fault one way or another.
Stu, the president this has been the monkey on the president's back for months and months and months. He doesn't like to talk about it, but it seems as if this particular report that came out a couple of days ago in the Washington Post, he's seized on that.
I think you're right. He's looking for some explanation to prove that he was right and Obama's wrong. It's all Obama's fault. Look, I think President Obama did. One thing that Donald Trump said is correct is that President Obama did assume that Hillary Clinton was going to win the election and that he could not take on this issue publicly. But can you imagine what Donald Trump would have said if a few weeks before the election, Barack Obama got on television and said it's all about the Russians taking over elections? Trump would have said it's rigged. The election's rigged.
He already was saying it was rigged, and that may have influenced how the Obama administration reacted. That's what they're saying. And
in fact, privately, that's what the Obama folks are saying. Just very quickly, something that we kind of overlooked in all the other news last week, and that was the announced by the Supreme Court that they're going to take up a redistricting case that affects the census, that is going to have a big effect on how our politics potentially.
Huge, or as some people say, huge, because this goes to the very heart of how districts are drawn, who draws the districts, and that goes to the very heart of who gets elected and which party benefits from how the districts are drawn. So this is a thing absolutely keep an eye on. The court has been very reticent to get involved in the issues of is this a political question or not. But by taking the case, I guess they're going to address it at least.
The backdrop is that the way redistricting, gerrymandering has been happening, Tam, quickly, it's benefited the Republicans, and this is a chance to look at that.
Well, and redistricting that has made seats safe, is influencing things like this very health care debate because members of Congress are more worried, particularly Republican members of Congress, are more worried about primaries from the right than they are about a general election fight.
Well, that one's in the fall. So is the big travel ban argument. We're going to have a lot to look forward to. But in the meantime, we've got so much to cover right now. Stu Rothenberg, Tamara Keith, thank you both. Politics Monday.
Thanks, Judy.
On the NewsHour online right now, a new study finds that when the news cycle is packed to the brim, information overload can cause people to struggle to discriminate between fact-based stories and fake news. Learn more about that research. That's on our website, pbs.org/NewsHour. And tune in later this evening on PBS. POV kicks off its 30th season with 2 films about Syrian refugees. Dalia's Other Country tells the story of a young girl who moved to the United States from Aleppo 5 years ago and how she navigates her native and adopted cultures as a Southern California teenager. And 4.1 Miles chronicles a day in the life of a Greek Coast Guard captain who makes multiple trips to save thousands of migrants from drowning near the island of Lesbos. Both POV films air later tonight on most PBS stations. And that's the NewsHour for tonight. I'm Judy Woodruff. Join us online and again right here tomorrow evening. For all of us at the PBS NewsHour, thank you, and we'll see you soon.
Major funding for the PBS NewsHour has been provided by BNSF Railway
and by the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, supporting science, technology, and improved economic performance and financial literacy in the 21st century.
Supported by the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, committed to building a more just, verdant, and peaceful world. More information at macfound.org. And with the ongoing support of these institutions. This program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
You're watching PBS.